dumb with pocket change, selling ice in tropic heat. They laugh like he was strange, but Phil carved thrones from swamp water, raised a kingdom from the bay. Bradley lit the torch on fire, robs a mooner on opening day. Exhibition thunder, Hamlet first pick drowning, learning how to skate with fear. Ciccarelli throwing sparks, you felt the crash from the top tier. No crown, just Phil's wild fight, turning blistered heat to frozen nights. Welcome to the Ice Palace, Phil's storm, Phil's raw, Phil's malice, where Bradley bled for every goal and Ciccarelli carved his soul. In the Ice Palace, we break glass, we burn alive, strike blue, swing hard, let the lightning never die. Dad and Papa grinding bones kept the kingdom still afloat. Wendell Young with bruised up pride, swallowing pucks down his throat. Chris Grattan rumbling through bodies, Roman Hamlet staking lines, Rob Zamooner killing penalties, blue collar hero of the times. Fast forward flames, point flies like broken circuits on the wire. Cut your arm, drips poison, passes, stab cuts, loads the one-timer fire. Headman skates like iron statues, towering shadow in the light. Facey stands like a concrete wall, swallowing hurricanes at night. From battered roots to kings of ice, Phil's madness made this paradise. Welcome to the Ice Palace, Phil's storm, Phil's roar, Phil's malice. From Papa's pain to Facey's throne, we carve this empire from our bones. In the Ice Palace, we break glass, we burn alive, strike blue, swing hard, let the lightning never die. Screaming through the rafters, build the storm, don't ask why. Bradley's ghost still sniping corners, Papa's pads refuse to die. Future crashing into history, fists and sticks and shattered eyes. You can hear the bay exploding. We paid the price. We paid the price. Welcome to the Ice Palace, cold steel sweat, Phil's palace. Raise the storm, break the crown, let the thunder shake the town. In the Ice Palace, ghosts and heroes collide. We tear the night wide open. This kingdom never
Welcome to We the Thunder. My name is Rob. My friends call me Shooter.
Wow, that's a nice shooter.
Thank you. Over here, this guy is Thomas Schooley, and I'm the only one that calls him the Professor.
Oh my God, Jimmy, you should join the typing Olympics. That must be 1,000,000 words a minute. That is too much exercise.
Thomas has weird sound effects. I have cool sound effects like this. $100 if you tell me what that's from.
The Olympics.
But what version of the Olympics?
NBC.
No, not even close.
Yes, it is.
By that, we would be sued by the time we're done broadcasting.
That is NBC's.
No, it's not. This?
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
Like,
Anyone in the chat knows what that is. I'm going to tell you because nobody's going to know. And nobody's even in the chat yet. but
Wimbledon, almost.
it's Olympics. It's Mario and Sonic Olympics, though. So, yeah, wasn't expecting you to get that one. All right, no guests tonight for the first time in I feel like at least a month. You know what that means? We get to have a good old time. We don't have to embarrass. Well, we're definitely going to embarrass ourselves. We might get sued this episode, but I think we've got a pretty solid plan here. What did I tell you we were going to talk about today?
The Hagel fight.
We've got one Lightning game to talk about. It was a good old fashioned whipping of the Florida Panthers. Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love a good old fashioned Panther whooping? Not only a Panther whooping, Thomas, you called it last episode. I don't know if you remember or saw the clip I posted earlier this week.
I saw the clip.
What'd you say? Tell the people what you said.
Hagel was going to whoop his ass.
And Hagel did that.
Whoop his ass.
Did that. So we'll talk a little bit about the Bolts' last game before the break. Let's talk a little bit about the Olympics. The women have been playing for a few days now. The men kicked off today. A Tampa Bay Lightning player scored a goal.
Hetty.
But they all count. An Olympic dream realized. Hedman wanted to play in this Olympics so bad. Came back from injury. Scored an empty netter today in the win versus Italy. Italy put up a fight. they put up a fight. They were only down by one. Going into that
46 shots on goal, 48, something like that.
Yeah, that poor goalie, and he got pulled out of the game. He got injured in the third period, and then it all kind of fell apart for them. All right, we'll talk about that, though, and we're going to go over exactly when our Lightning play as well. Jack Finley, talk a little bit about him. Gone. He's a St. Louis Blue now. I found, and a lot of people have saw this guy too, but the Lightning might have the next Nikita Kucherov in the system already. So we'll talk about Benjamin. It's his first name. And then some of the stuff we missed over, the last 2 months. We can't cover everything on this show, but there's some announcements about the arena, about the area surrounding the arena. Lightning hockey games are just going to get better to go to in the next couple of years. So we'll talk about that. And then we're going to cap it all off with Olympic player superlatives. This is where we might get sued, Thomas, but we did not make these. These are inspired by AI. So if you're a hockey player and you're bored at the Olympics and your Olympic bungalow or wherever they keep you, don't get mad at us, okay? It was AI. Some of them get pretty crazy. The one I posted earlier about Brock Nelson's nothing compared to what we're going to do later. So we'll get to that. Full show, no guests. Let us know you're out there in the chat. And in fact, we'll share it right now. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. We've got another shirt to give away. So neither one of us had the Thunder Freeze the Bay shirt, but if you add hashtag USA in the chat, we've got another one to give away. I still haven't shipped out the one from last week. I totally forgot. So our winner from last week, if you're out there, it's going to happen this week. But we're going to do one more. So make sure you add hashtag USA with your comment, and that is your chance to enter the drawing that we'll have at the end of the show. All right. So we'll start off with Lightning hockey. We had one more game since our last show. We played the Florida Panthers. They came to town. Jay Retcher was on last week. You and Jay Retcher thought, well, maybe it's not a good idea to play Hagel and Vassie and some of these guys. Maybe we should take them out. It could get physical this game. I said I don't think so. I thought these guys are going to play. Barry.
I said there ain't no way Hagel sits. Ain't no way.
You did. And you called the ass beaten too. Everyone pretty much played. Now, Panthers fans are going to say, well, Marchand didn't play, and Rodriguez didn't play, and Bob didn't play, which is all true. Still got your ass beat. So we had
Hedman didn't play, and Paul didn't play, or Hedman did play. Well, did he really? Point didn't play. So I mean, we could go tit for tat.
They didn't have Ekblad either.
No.
But I mean, it wasn't even close. 6-1. The fight right in the middle, towards I guess more towards the third period. I think it might have been the third period, but
I sent my sister to that game. I gave my sister and one of her friends my tickets, and so they went to that game instead of me, and they had a good time. There's Tracy now.
I had a call with my boss in the morning. He's a huge hockey fan too. He doesn't live in this area though. He's a Buffalo Sabres fan, and that was my first call in the morning. And I said, "Oh man, I went to a wrestling match and a hockey game broke out last night." And that's pretty much what happened in that segment there. Now we'll throw it over to, I think I've got the interview with Jay Retcher and Brandon Hagel. So let me tee that up if I still have it up. Yeah, this is from.
While you're teeing that out real quick, let me just say happy birthday to Sonia Bryson Kirksey. Today is her birthday. Still looks like she's 25 years old. I don't know if she's watching right now, but she tends to pop in and out. So happy birthday, Sonia.
And by the way, there is the graphic right there. You can see if you have entered. Hey, I've entered. I could win the shirt, but make sure you guys enter so I don't win. And if I do win, we'll re-roll, obviously. But I did put the hashtag in the chat. So it looks like you guys are entering. Awesome. We will have a winner today. Let me hide that for now. Don't worry. It's coming back. But this is from Jay Retcher. He gets, if you don't follow Jay, he puts, a lot of his post-game interviews up there. I love how he split this one. His video from the game. And I just like this interview from Hagel, because he's got the little laugh listen for the little laugh at the beginning of this. You probably saw it last week, but.
All right, so the dust up there in the second period, like you knew who was there, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Nikita Kucherov's our best player. He just continued to do incredible things, so probably stay away from him.
All right, so the dust.
Probably stay away from him. I like that. That's the right answer. Yeah, probably stay away from him. And how this started was complete bullshit. It was who was it first? Mikola, who just cheap shots. Cooch way behind the play. Puck's not even close. And then Matthew Tkachuk gets off the bench, takes the long way around. Puck's still at the other side of the ice. From behind, takes Cooch down. And then that's when all hell broke loose. A lot of people were saying, did Hagel even get a punch in? I mean, did you not see the first 4 punches? Of course he did. He completely tore the guy's gear up in that game, and Hagel was waiting for this since the Four Nations to get a fair shot back at Tkachuk. And I call it Hagel versus Tkachuk 2, and I'm just curious when 3 is going to be, because there's going to be a third round to that fight. But what really pissed me off about this game, well, there's 2 things. One was Curtis Douglas gets in a fight later in the game and somehow is the only person that's disciplined out of everything that happened in this game, including Cooch defensive-less, getting hit from behind. And then the other part, JJ Mosier starts to fight. Who did he fight? I think, was it Forsling?
Yes, Forsling that kept hitting him while he was down on the ice.
Well, yeah, and here's another thing that Panthers fans don't understand, because they just started watching hockey the last 3 years. They don't know the rules and the gentleman's agreements that they have here. Once a guy goes down, you don't hit him. This is not WWE wrestling. This is not MMA. And I am just shocked that he did not get any type of fine or suspension out of that. Like, it's complete bullshit. Once again, no, I guess not, because once again, we're the only ones that face discipline after this bullshit that we didn't even start this time. Maybe last time we started.
You saw there was nothing on that hit on McAvoy against the Bruins. So did you really expect anything against us?
who's not seeing this? Like, why is this a thing? Why are they getting away with all of this? It's crazy. Anyway, 6-1. We put one nail in the Florida Panthers coffin because, again, once we get back from this break in a couple weeks, it's a sprint to the finish line. They're almost in dead last in the East. I don't know if they can get out of it. They have to go on. They have to play like us for this last stretch of the season, and not everyone can play like us. 19-1-1 in the last 21 games. Are you worried about this break?
Yes and no. I would say a lot of people were saying this kills the momentum, but every team is doing this. So, I mean, I think you can't say it's going to kill the momentum when everybody's going to be starting over. We saw when we went to the block party that who said they were going to the Bahamas? Nick Paul? Was it Nick Paul, Serena? Said he's going to the Bahamas for during the break. So, they can't officially practice as a team, whoever's left behind. No NHL things are allowed to be going on right now. So they can rent out the rink, but I think they're all taking little vacation, which is normal with them. We've seen in the past, like 10 players go to the Bahamas and take pictures together at the Bahamas. They've done other trips together, and usually lose their first game back.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really worry about it. I just don't like how they were on such a streak of just not losing, right? Like they were just playing so well. And now you get this break, but you're right. Everybody gets the break. Everybody's, for the most part, has players, maybe not as many as us, but we got some guys.
Panthers, due to injury, the Panthers now have the most players in the Olympics.
Yeah. Cirelli not going. Point, the report came out that Point could have played, but being that he wasn't 100%, gave up his spot for somebody that was healthy for Team Canada. So you talk about a classy group of players and an unclassy group of players in the state of Florida. And Seth Jarvis took from the Carolina Hurricanes, took his spot for Team Canada. And by the way, Seth Jarvis will be in our little shooter game later. He is featured in our game. So I'm really interested to see how this game goes.
I've seen Beverly said this, and I've seen this comment a couple times on X. The Panthers are tanking. Trust me, no team tanks really to get. It isn't like football-ish where you kind of tank to get that number one, because as anybody that's watching the news lately, that number one draft pick was in some legal trouble. Then it got dismissed, but his stock has gone down. You don't know who that number one is going to be, and sometimes you can't afford that number one draft pick. The Panthers are not going to have number one draft pick type money available to them without having to give up something. So I don't think they're tanking for that number one draft pick.
Yeah, and it's funny how the news didn't really come out until this past week that was a protected pick last year that went the other way. So now they can draft in the top 10 because if it was unprotected, they would have basically gave up that first round pick, which right now is looking like it'll be a top 10 pick. Yeah. So, but yeah, they're going to come back. They're going to try to win some games. I don't think they're going to tank it. All right. We broke the internet for a little bit yesterday. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. The airplane.
The airplane. Let's pull it up because you never told me what you would have went with. And honestly, like this is really hard. And I made it really hard.
I love how people were was razzing you about who had aisle seats with their big old long legs.
Well, the responses were funny, right?
I
Because some people are
Yeah.
like, "Well, I've got to take a window seat. Like, I can't consider 7 or 4 or 1 because, guys, you're not going to be on this plane. So, take the chance and take the middle seat between Cooch and Vassy if you really want to. Like, there was so many. Like, I only sit in the aisle, so it's 4 or 5 for 2 for me. But yeah, I sent it to you the night before when I was making it, and I was asking you, all right, who do we need to add on here? Like, who am I going to get killed for not adding on here? And I got a lot of the comments of who's missing. Obviously, we can't put everyone on there, right? Gensel, pretty high up there. Jake didn't make the list. He's only been here a year, Give me a break. A couple people actually said Andre Waugh, and trust me, I wanted to put Andre in.
I put Wall as a suggestion. I put Wall. I put Dingman. I put Bishop.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty, but we only have this much space on the screen. Okay, Andre Waugh, if you remember back to the story, he's told it on this podcast. He's told it on another
Cookie.
podcast. I don't know if you want to sit next to Andre Waugh on a plane. You might get served a cookie in an uncomfortable place on him. Hopefully it's not a chocolate chip. I posted that on Instagram. By the way, I think we're live on Instagram tonight, and we have not been in live on Instagram. So if you're watching on Instagram, hi. Our Instagram is just my personal Instagram. It just might as well be the show's Instagram because everything's just hockey. But yeah, I'm curious, or what people, if you're out there,
Where would you sit?
So I thought long and hard about this, and
I know where I've thought long and hard too.
I would sit in any one of these spots, obviously, but there's one that I would have to go with over all the others, and that is 3. I want the stories from Marty, the stories from Vinnick. And also, Vinnick's one of the only guys on here who's not just like, a hockey player. Like, I want some financial advice from Vinnick. I'm looking well beyond just this as a hockey flight. So that's my answer. I'm going 3. Marty was my original favorite player as a Lightning. I want to get to the bottom of, hey, what really happened? Why did you really leave the Lightning? Because there's a lot of rumors about that. And I want Vinnick's just brain for a little while. To ask questions on, how I can become a billionaire too.
Another thing is I would pick 8 because I think being next to Sorelli and Hagel will probably be the funnest time ever. Because I remember when we did the Callahan Foundation and the players that were here it was Stammer, Sorelli, Point. I think Killer, and maybe McDonough and Paul. But Sorelli kept saying, once this is over, let's go to the bar. And Stammer's like, no, we got kids. And he's like, no, let's go to a bar. How long you got the babysitter for? And he's like, we got kids. And Sorelli's like, it's only 2 blocks away. And he's like, we got kids. And then Stammer's like, he don't have any kids. Well, that we know of. So them 2 together, I think would be so much fun. Then you're right across from number 1 BS, Nikita Kucherov. And then you're right behind, Dave, who is drunk 24/7. So I'm getting drunk with him. Then you got Coop, who is just going to, be smoking a cigar. And then you got McDonough and Hedman competing for who's going to be the oldest man on this team. 3's good because you do have...
you got Marty in the middle seat.
Oh, you have Espo in front of you there. So that would be some good stories. He couldn't hear you, but that would be some good stories. But
That's
yeah,
right. I don't know if you heard, but Espo's he's losing his hearing. A proud Tampa Bay Lightning sponsor. I've been trying to get that audio, by the way. I have it on my phone where it's just me in my truck, like at red lights, recording that from the radio, and it just never sounds good enough for me to transfer.
It's funny because two of our Little Caesars that my franchise has, their next door neighbors Audibel. So I keep going, you need to let me know if he comes in here to do any kind of meet and greet or anything.
So 8 was probably the most popular. There was no way. I mean, there were so many responses. This was probably the most response we've ever had on anything that we've posted. Eight had to be number one. I think that those are your two like hottest players, currently, I think, and hottest for the girls that played a big role in it. I was surprised not more people went with 6, but that's kind of why I put Coop with Andy, because I think a lot of people would have went with Coop if I put him with Stammer, right?
Yeah.
And or Chuck, you had to be around for a while. I'm sure would be awesome to sit with, as you mentioned. Guy likes to drink some beers. I was glad some people said 2, because I was worried I was going to have to put their names underneath of that because some of the newer fans might not remember Brad and Vinny. Of course, they remember Vinny, I would hope, but Brad Richards.
Obviously, my heart would say give me number 4 next to Stammer, and then behind Vinny, and then Brad, and then Coop behind me. But I don't think I could listen to any more about Harvard from Killorn. So
my second choice would have been 1 for sure. Just JBB again being super smart, and then all the stories from Espo you'd get. The reason why I went away from that is Espo. I know a lot of those stories are gonna be old stories before I started watching hockey in the mid late 90s. But you really could not pick a wrong spot. If there was one that was less popular, probably 5. Our veteran D-men, maybe not as exciting for a lot of people, but
I think Mac though would be fun. I wouldn't want to sit next to Hetty. I just think he isn't all that fun. But I bet McDonough is just fun to be around.
Now I did get a private message when I posted this from somebody. I'm not going to say their name because he said I would post this, but I'm not going to publicly say it. That's why I'm DMing you. So I'm not going to out him, but during the back-to-back cup runs, he was part of the coaching training staff. Might have been on the show.
I know who this is.
He said, easy decision for him. What do you think he said?
I would say he probably would have went. Let me think of how long he was with the team. 7, probably.
No, not 7. He went
4. 4. Stammer and Killorn.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, those were the guys during most of his time here. I'm trying to see. He said 5 isn't bad either. So there you go. 2 for the defensemen. I'd almost be worried with Coop behind me that I'd be getting my seat kicked all flight. That's what he said. So apparently Coop is a bit of a pest on the plane ride. And this is somebody who's been on many of those plane rides.
Well, remember when we talked to Nigel, he said sometimes you just duck down and pretend you're not on that flight so you don't get caught in any of those stray bullets from him.
Well, not this year. Not this year. All right. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for thinking of that, Thomas. Oh wait. Let's give you a sneak peek because I want you guys to stick around for our little game here, which isn't even really a game, but we'll call it a game. So,
oh yeah, that's a good one. Derek just put Maroon with Mac on there. We should have put Big Rig on there. Man,
Maroon was definitely the other one where people were like, how's that guy not on there?
Give me Maroon and Hagel. That would be a fun time.
So maybe later this season, or maybe we'll wait till next season. We'll do like a classic Lightning and like a current Lightning one. So we'll do this again and we'll mix it up. This was really tough. We needed at least another row here.
Yeah.
All right. The games we're gonna play tonight involve superlatives. Thomas, when you were in high school, the yearbook, did you get any most likely to start a podcast about the Tampa Bay Lightning
No.
or anything like that?
Mine
I went
would
to
have
three different
been.
high schools, so nobody knew who I
Mine
was.
would have been suspended. Most likely to get suspended.
Most likely to be in jail. So that's what this is from. And I've seen late night shows do this too, right? So I'm going through the pictures and I'm like, what happens if I load this into AI and ask like who's most likely to blank? Well, we got some doozies. The first one though, I made up. So this one 100% me. The rest of them AI inspired. Charlie McAvoy, your favorite US defenseman and complainer about the ice at the Stadium Series in Tampa. What is he? Most likely to complain about the Olympic ice. All right, so you get the gist of it. This is really mild. There's gonna be some low blows. Just to give you a sneak preview, Austin Matthews has about 10 of these. The Kachuk brothers have about 10. We got Eddie on there. We've got some good ones. So we'll hold that for now. I do want to talk about some other stuff first. Let me get back on track here. For those who don't know, Thomas is seen behind the curtain here. Sometimes I do have some notes to help me out here to stay on track. If I didn't have these notes, I'd be all over the place. All right, some of the stuff we missed, right? The stuff that we wanted to kind of talk about, but really we didn't get a chance to talk about because we were too busy talking about like what was happening in games, and there's just been so much going on that there's some stuff that we missed. So what I'm talking about is there's been news about Benchmark Arena. There's been news about what's going on or what's going to be happening in and around the arena. So this really just came out last week, so we're not that late on it. But the Lightning have decided to stay at Benchmark Arena through 2043. So they are not leaving anytime soon. This was because Hillsborough County Commissioners unanimously, God, I can't speak today.
What? Say that again, please.
Let me turn myself on and back on again. Hold on. I can't say that right. Trust me, I'm not drinking alcohol. So they approved a 6-year lease extension that keeps the Lightning in the Benchmark Arena till.
What was the vote? What was the vote?
It was 6-0. All of them voted for it. How about that? So $250 million county funded renovation plan. That's using tourist tax dollars. So nobody get too mad about that. It's all from tourist dollars. And then the team's going to contribute at least $75 million. So the team's on the hook for this too, right? And they're saying this could go up to $358.5 million. So we have a massive renovation that is coming here to the arena. So all this money was just approved. That means they're going to go to the design phase and start to figure out like, all right, well, what can we do? What can we fit in the budget? So this stuff's not going to really start happening for at least another year. And really 2028, I would say, maybe 29 is when we'll actually see these renovations in the arena. So we'll have years.
I've heard the team is negotiating with new vendors for the 2028 season. So, and some people, new fans don't understand the arena is owned by Tampa Bay Sports. Vinnick only owns the team. They do not, they're one of the things that do not own the actual building. Tampa Bay Sports owns Raymond James Stadium and they own Benchmark Arena. So that's why I saw people saying, why are my taxpayers going to it? Well, literally that stadium is the taxpayer stadium. And if you don't put that money into it, it's going to be the Lightning are going to find somewhere else, find something else to do. And then you're not going to get the revenue back from that. So the building itself is owned by the Tampa Sports Commission.
Look at you. You know your stuff, man. All right. So I liked one of the comments here. I think it was Derek again. Derek's on a roll. This is my number one problem with this arena. How can they make getting around the 300? I'll add 100 in that as well. If you go to other arenas, especially newer ones, that concourse is much wider, and it's not just a sea of people at intermission. I don't think they can fix that, though. You're talking about
They could if they took out the beer vendors that are sticking out, the sweets place that has their thing in the way there. There's a lot of little carts that they put in the way, and if they limited them to like the actual counter service, it would be different. But we all saw, if you went to Raymond James, and I know I saw you post a video of this, the traffic jam at the Stadium Series game.
Oh, that's actually Bucks game too, though. Behind where my video was, right by the pirate ship, it's just a clusterfuck there all the time. But at our arena, it's almost all the 100s. It's almost all the 300s. I hope they look at that. I'm sure they're going to think of like, all right, how can we make more money in this building? So I'm thinking new team store somehow. But it'll be interesting. I feel like they're really limited to what they can do. But
do you know how you do it? And I have been saying this for years. Bring back the smoking section outside. And with the Corona bar, you eliminate so many people from inside during the intermissions going to get those beers, because that Corona bar was packed during intermission when they had the smoking section. Bring the smoking section back. You allow people. You have a plaza team that you're paying to do nothing on the plaza during the game. Put them to work where they are watching this. You allow people that are sitting out front watching the game to smoke. Why not alleviate some of those people down the stairs again, outside to the Corona bar that you're paying someone to bartend anyway and getting nothing except for before the game, no kind of sales. And then you have the sales there at the Corona bar. I don't understand how they took away that bar and all those people that were going outside and being like, where are we going to put them? They added nothing inside for those people to go to except for longer lines.
I agree with you about the space, but you're not going to get your smoking section, buddy. This is 2026, and we look at smokers as second-class citizens. And it'll remain a smoke-free arena for sure. But you're onto something there with that space. They're going to probably do something. So it'll be fun to see that. We haven't seen much happen with the arena since the last renovation, which at this point was a long time ago, like 7-8 years ago, I think. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. Now, what I do have is actual renderings of the plans and ideas of the extension of Water Street. So this was announced back in November, December timeframe. So we've seen Water Street grow, but what they're going to do is they're going to build this entertainment district. So I'm going to read some of the copy here that I was reading earlier this week. The team behind the transformative Water Street Tampa development announced plans for a new downtown entertainment district that will build on the area's continued growth. Plans from strategic property partners call for a new 3,500 seat performance venue, interesting size, a 250-room hotel, like we don't have enough of those, and a 100,000 square feet for retail, dining, and entertainment spaces. This will be located on a vacant parcel across from Benchmark International Arena on Channelside Drive. Basically, where that parking lot is, right across from the arena, they're going to build a whole entertainment district on that block between Morgan Street and Jefferson Street. Unfortunately, Construction does not begin till 2027. So again, this is years away, but like I said, I've got some pictures. So let's share pictures. Make sure you sign up, add hashtag USA to the chat. We're going to give away a shirt tonight. Here is our entertainment district. So there's the view from essentially looking north from the south side of the arena. And basically that parking lot that goes from the Selman Expressway all the way to Thunder Alley is where they're going to build this venue and more shopping areas. And I think this is an awesome idea. What I noticed from these pictures, and again, these are just renderings, like none of this is all like in the design and planning and figuring out what's going to be there. So it could change drastically. But if you look at these pictures, Schooley, they cut off the road there. There's no channel side drive there anymore. Like you are not driving through there, which honestly, I don't think they can do. But that's a great idea to just make that an open walking area if they're going to make this an entertainment district. You see what I'm talking about down here?
Yes. Yeah, they'll end up closing it off. A lot of arenas have that.
A lot of them are just parked on the side of a highway, though, like the Islanders' new arena. So this looks really cool. 3,500 seat concert venues, interesting. But think about it. They don't want to compete with the arena. So it's not going to be anything that's that big. But that's also a really small venue. But either way, more cool new stuff.
They want to compete with Janice Live. They want to compete with Ruth Eckerd Hall. They want to compete with the Sound in Clearwater.
So there you go. This is looking as if we are walking to the east from like this is the parking garage right here. You can see there's the big sign, Water Street down here. And then this is kind of the new section. Again, cut off road. It looks like you can still go kind of in that under area. Got a couple more here. This is from Water Street looking over back towards the arena, but more towards across the street. And then there, look at us partying it up on Water Street. So that's cool. I'm excited about this. Unfortunately, we got to wait a couple years. What are they saying in the chat? Anything interesting?
Where the fuck's everybody going to park?
Well, that's
gonna garage, but
there's going to be a parking garage. They're taking out they're just taking out parking spots, right? Because this is again from Morgan to where Yard House is. It's an empty parking lot, right? So I would imagine, I think it's part of the plan's going to be they've got to add a big parking garage, which should cover it. If you go to a lot of bigger cities, downtown arenas, it's all parking garages. And to be honest with you, that Pam Ioria garage, it's a pain in the ass to get to because you got to get through downtown to get to it before the game. But getting out, they have it down. Like you flow right out of that garage if you've ever parked there.
Well, we've heard they're tearing that down, remember? When we were partners with a certain brewery for this podcast.
That was a while ago, though.
But they said, remember, it was delayed because of the COVID years.
Uh-oh. Kim's on the warpath here. He's not happy about the parking. Oh, good reminder, Kim. I posted because the last two games were at 7:30, which I love. I live out in North Pinellas County. 7:00 games are a nightmare to get to. So I posted, let's keep 7:30. And then some people are like, screw you. I don't want to be home by midnight. So I put out there, all right, let's let the Thunder decide what's better, 7:00 or 7:30. For me, it's 7:30 all day. I'm guessing you're a 7:00 guy.
I could care less. I mean, the earlier the better, because I leave my house on game days like at 3:00, just so I don't get stuck in that traffic.
Well, if I can't leave by like 5:36, I'm screwed. It's ridiculous how traffic is. So
if I'm not out of my house by 3:30, I am sitting in traffic.
That 30 minutes makes a world of difference. And I don't know, you are there later. I noticed that after the Panthers game on Thursday, I was like, wait, it's almost 11:30 when I got home, but I don't care. I'm just going to go to bed anyway. So, but yeah, what did you think the results of the poll, or did you see it? We had
I did not see it, but I'm guessing 7:30 because I remember when it used to be 7:30 and it went to 7, how much people bitched.
No, 7 won it. It's like
Wow.
6:30. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's surprising.
I don't think they're gonna change that. So 7 o'clock people, you win. You win this time. But apparently next game's 7:30, so I'll be there.
Yeah.
Next game is Toronto, right?
Yeah, and it's an ESPN game, which is why it's 7:30.
Yep. That's where most of them are 7:30. Somebody asked me if I wanted to offload my tickets for that game. I'm like, we're not going to be playing for 2.5 weeks. No, I'm going to be at that game. Which,
I actually gave mine away.
by the way, that's our next game, and it is on a Wednesday night. The reason why we do this podcast on Wednesday night, there's many reasons, but the main reason is there's not as many hockey games. So I'm going to go to the game. You're apparently not. You can do the show on yourself by yourself if you want. But I've got Deandra Liu, NHL.com, NHL Network, forget some NHL source that she's working for these days. She's going to be joining us for the first time this season on Thursday after the Toronto game. So we'll recap the Olympics. We'll talk about the season with her. It'll be good to get her on. So reminder, next show, because we're not going to do one next week, is going to be on the Thursday, the 24th, 26th. Seems like so long or so far away. All right. Let's go to my guy that I've been following here. Do you know? Oh, no, wait. Let's talk about Jack Finley first.
The Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man? This is a new Muffin Man. The Muffin Man that is no longer in Tampa Bay is Jack Finley. So Jack Finley, I'm assuming they put him on waivers so he could go actually play some hockey games in Syracuse. And they probably tried to sneak him right through, and he was claimed by the Blues. So the Jack Finley era is over. Way too many people are upset about this. Listen, I like the guy. What I really like about him is he's 6'6", 250 pounds, and he's a center. Like, you just don't see that much anymore, right? Here's the reality of Jack Finley. And again, this is 23 games. So Jack Finley might end up being an awesome all-star player. But if you look at the 23 games with the Lightning, he averaged under 9 minutes, and he had 3 points in 23 games. I don't think the Lightning wanted to lose him, but I don't think he was doing enough to stay on this team, especially when everyone's healthy. What are your thoughts on Jack Finley and the people that are really upset about him?
Well, if you look at the 50% of the people that are mad about him is younger females who like the look of Finley, not the play of Finley. And then the ones that actually are NHL people, it's like split 50-50. I think Finley could have done good down in the crunch. I didn't see him breaking this lineup for a couple of years.
Yeah. So we'll never know. I'm sure we'll follow him in his journeys in St. Louis. I guess he's from St. Louis, so good for him to picked up by his home team. But yeah, we will miss Jack.
I believe his dad played for them.
Oh, is it?
Coach for them, something like that, yeah.
But yeah, big guys have trouble skating the way the Lightning want them to be able to skate. I think that was the number one problem with him. He had a lot of chances to score and didn't bury him. He only had 2 goals, 3 points. So I don't know. He kind of got his shot. And there was other guys that got shots on this team this year, and they will not be playing for other teams this season. So farewell to Jack Finley. We will we appreciate your service here for the Lightning this season. Now, on to My new guy. I'm gonna get the jersey, dude. I'm ready to pull the trigger. Watch. I'll order a jersey way too soon. He's not even signed. He was drafted 2025 this past year. 4th round. Benjamin Ratinen. That's right. We got our own Ratinen. And by the way, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Because all these videos that I've been watching of him are all from the Finland leagues where he's from. He's a Finnish forward. He's only 20 years old. We drafted him, but we haven't signed him yet. So we have his rights. What I'm worried about is this guy's going to get shipped away as part of a trade, because you can trade the guy's rights, right? You don't have to have him under contract to trade him, right?
Correct.
So keep an eye out as the trade line approaches. Keep this name in mind, Benjamin Ratinen. He's only doing, and I'll pull up some video here as we talk about him, because I was really impressed, and you're going to see why I call him the next Kucherov here as well.
While you're pulling that up, Serena is mentioning Geeky, and I saw someone else say he was killing it in Syracuse. Congratulations to him and Pauletier, who both made the AHL All-Star game.
All right, so I've got some of his stats. This was just 3 months ago, so this was this season, and this is him scoring a hat trick. None of these look that impressive, but he plays on that spot, the same spot that Kucherov plays on the power play. 1 comparison to Kuch. 2, he's 6 foot, like he's not this amazing physical specimen. And if you look at his stats, you know, I would tell you to go YouTube. There's a bunch on there, all in Finnish. But if you look at him play, he's just such a nonchalant player. Like, he does it like Kuch. He doesn't look like he's trying hard. And the stats don't lie. So the stats on this guy in the Liga, which is the Finnish main league, is 46 games in, he's got 61 points. So that's Kucherov type numbers. That's over a point per game. So keep an eye out for this guy. Hopefully you don't see his name as a package going the other way in the trade deadline, because this guy looks good. And here's the video of why I call him Baby Cooch. So watch this. This is a penalty shot here. And pay close attention to what he does after this. And mind you, this is a 3-year-old video. But
does he hush him up?
Watch it. The shush to the bench. Dude, we got the next Kucherov already in the system. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this guy. I'm hoping the Lightning make sure that we keep him. And if we've got to get rid of some prospects, we get rid of some other guys, because this guy's got some potential. I mean, who knows?
Well, the only way
League.
his rights would be traded is if he's guaranteed to sign with someone in the NHL.
Well, he's 20, so it's not like he's just 18 years old, right? And he's the top scorer in the Finnish league, which, you know, isn't going to translate to success in the NHL, but he's having a heck of a season. 17 goals in that league, which I believe is leading the league. All right.
It's time for superlatives. I was getting my Buc-ee's popcorn ready for the.
Well, I wanted to see in the chat if anyone has heard of this guy. No, we're still.
I think Kim does, because she was saying that would be a huge mistake, would be to get rid of him.
You're right, Kim. You're right. So yeah, go look at this guy up. Maybe we see him next year. I hope they sign him to a contract and get him over here, because he's North America bound for sure. Hopefully with us.
By the way, how about the U.S. women's hockey team beating Canada 5-0? God, I hope when the men's do that, we're do the same. We've already had one upset so far.
Yeah. The big game this morning, Chernak, the first dub for a Lightning player in the Olympics, and that was definitely an upset. Finland loses to Slovakia. And then, of course, Hedman and the Swedes, Holmberg on that squad too, take out Italy. But Italy put up a good fight in that game. They were in it till the third period. So we've got some games scheduled for tomorrow.
Italy captained by former Tampa Bay Lightning Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yeah, he's. They have no assistant captains or anything. He is the only one wearing anything. He's got the C. So
Good for him.
congrats to him. Yeah,
I thought he was French though.
Oh yeah, sorry, he is on the French team. Sorry, you're right. He's really French.
He doesn't give off those Italian vibes.
No, he is French. You're right. Gudas also is wearing an A, former Bolt, and then the 3 Bolts. And I thought Hetty had been picked as captain, but they gave him the A.
Well, you see,
Yeah, they gave him the A. They gave who is it? Chernak the A, and who was the third one? Chernak, Hetty, and Gergensen. That's right. Yep.
So real quick, let's go through this. Tomorrow, 6 a.m., 6:10 technically. Switzerland and France. JJ Mosier makes his Olympic debut. So if you want to get up early and watch that, you can watch that. Czechia plays Canada. So Canada, Cooper and Hagel make their debut at 10:40. And then USA. Hold on. Do I still have my USA chants on here? I think I do, Schooley. Latvia versus USA, 3:10 tomorrow. That is Jake Gensel taking on Jurgensen, and that will be Team USA's first game.
Jurgensen, he ate lotion.
You always say that. That's his name.
Jurgensen.
I'm getting Dave Randorf on this show just to. All right, February 13th, Finland, Sweden at 6 a.m. And then you've got Italy, Slovakia at 6 also, and then Canada, Switzerland. By the way, these are all the men's games. I'm not trying to not talk about the girls' games, but really these are the games that our guys are playing in. So I might be skipping some that our guys are not playing in. And then Saturday's the big day where there's games pretty much all day. Slovakia, Sweden has our guys at 6. Germany, Latvia has our guy Jurgensen at 6. And then USA, Denmark has Gensel playing at 3:10. And then there's, like I said, there's other games on the 14th too, which is Valentine's Day. Carly already knows. At least got to watch that USA game. But there's definitely hockey games all morning and early afternoon. And then back-to-backs. Most of these teams have back-to-backs. So USA plays again. So we'll see Gensel taking on Germany. And you know who's the captain in Germany? Draisaitl? Anyone? Hold on. Let me cue up the crickets.
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day.
Dude, it's so weird cheering for USA and cheering for the Kachucks, which I don't want to, and Austin Matthews, and like a bunch of these guys who are basically our rivals. And then we want to beat Canada, and we want to beat Cooper, and we want to beat Hagel. And I'm really just conflicted about the whole thing. I don't like it. It makes me feel dirty. Just drink your Diet Coke.
Yeah, no, it'd be great to see Coop and Hagel get a gold medal, but it would also be great to see Gensel get a gold medal. It's just, I think it's just a perfect opportunity for these people, and such dreams are going to come true. I'm really upset that Russia didn't get to play under some unified flag or something like that. Because just think about that. I mean, U.S., Canada, Russia, and Sweden. I mean, those would be great gold medal because obviously the gold medal game is the gold and silver game, and then you got the bronze game. That would be some great games.
Well, we're gonna look. We're gonna look our next show because by then we'll know who wins the gold. And I want to put head to head that winning team, whether it's Canada, U.S., Sweden. I think it's anyone's. Canada's got to be the favorite with that roster, but I think anyone can win this tournament. So we'll look at the winning roster, and then you've seen these projected. Here's what Team Russia would look like, and I mean that team looks stacked. So we'll never know. At least, until the next Olympics, but it's going to be different players in the next Olympics. So it kind of sucks, but we'll take a look and see what could have been on that.
I got asked this week. Do you think Stamkos deserved to be on that Canada team?
Yeah, because he has not played in the Olympics. So, yes, I do. Right?
Yeah, I thought he could have been a replacement instead of like Jarvis. I as much as people hate Bennett and everything, I have said from the beginning I thought Bennett should have went over Sorelli. Just so happens Sorelli gets hurt, and that's who's his replacement. I've said it from the beginning. I can't stand Bennett, but if you are playing for your country and you are trying to get the biggest, nastiest people on that ice to win you a gold medal, someone by Bennett is who you want on your team.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Ellen's asking who the USA coach is. Oh, we're going to see him on the screen here in a minute because he's part of our game. It is Mike Sullivan. And he does not look happy in his picture.
Mike Sullivan, who's coach of the Rangers, was the coach of the Penguins, was an assistant here. It's also got John Tortorella is in there, who's currently not coaching at all. It's the same coaching staff from the Four Nations. So Mike Buckley, video coach Mike King, Minnesota Wild's coach John Haynes, and David Quinn, who also is not coaching.
All right. Your job here is to either laugh or boo. This is superlatives. AI created. So if any players are bored out there in Milan and they're seeing this, it was not Shooter that made this. It was Thomas Schooley and AI. Because some of these are definitely below the belt. So don't make me use this laugh track. Or this one. Oh, wait, that one's got the Seinfeld in it. All right, we'll try not to use that. You are going to be the judge of are these good or not. So this is a shooter game. This is AI superlatives for the USA. Actually, the entire Olympic squad is featured on here. So we already had one with Brock Nelson that you guys saw earlier today when we were talking about the show tonight. But we've got a couple more for Brock Nelson and his smirk on his face. So, Brock Nelson, most likely to be asked if he wants to use his senior citizen discount at the Olympic Village cafeteria.
That one was cute.
Brock Nelson, most likely to offer the opposing goalie a butterscotch.
No, that's dumb.
I like that one. Come on. Most likely to have his headshot featured on the "Do not let this man near the figure skating rink" warning poster. They leaned into the creepy stuff here. This one's even more. So, most likely to be overly excited to serve the women's figure skaters their first beer. I think it's that smirk. All right. Speaking of smirks, let's bring on our next favorite American, Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel only got one, and this is a pretty good one. Most likely to get hit in the face with an iron while breaking into a house with a little Italian boy who has been left home alone. So I added this.
Mamma mia.
He does look like the guy from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack. All right. The coach. Alan wanted to know who the coach of the Team USA is. Mike Sullivan. There he is. Looking thrilled to be coaching the Olympics, by the way. So Mike Sullivan, most likely to curse you out for getting the last scoop of gelato.
No.
All right. Moving on here. We've got Brad Marchand. Brad, for good old Team Canada, is most likely to lick that drop of gelato that got on your face.
That's cute.
Ask
By
Brad.
the way, the fans in Florida want to trade him already. One and done with him.
So too bad they're stuck with him.
Yep.
All right, next up, Drew Doughty. Look at that beautiful face. That's a hockey player right there.
It's a field goal post between his teeth.
I thought if you're gonna put this guy on, you got to consider Stamkos. They're about the same. What, they in the same draft class? They're 1-2, right?
Yeah.
So he makes it, and Stamkos didn't even really get considered. It's interesting. All right, Drew Doughty, most likely to try to sell you a slightly used gold medal in the arena parking lot. And then most likely to be mistaken for a bouncer at a shady Milan nightclub who accepts payment exclusively in loose teeth. Oh, wait, there's one more. Drew Doughty, most likely to awkwardly suck spaghetti through his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on to our favorite Canadian dork, Mitch Marner. Now part of the Vegas Golden Knights. Mitch Marner, most likely to say, actually, and be right about it. He's got that actually face.
Yeah.
Most likely to report the Kachuk brothers to the Olympic Village RA for excessive horseplay and violating the 9 p.m. quiet time rule.
And the Kachuk brothers are rooming together.
Of course.
And the team has decided they were going to stay in the village and have the full Olympic experience.
Interesting. And Mitch Marner does not like it. Most likely to skip the gold medal party because he's at a really critical stage of building a 1-to-1 replica of the Coliseum out of 12,000 plastic bricks, which I guess are supposed to be Legos.
Well, yeah, but he would also skip the gold medal party because he ain't winning one. It's USA.
Oh. All right. And then I like this one too. This is a pretty funny one. Most likely to escape Toronto and rediscover joy. He did that one.
Yep, he succeeded there.
All right. Braden Point's replacement, Seth Jarvis. Just one for Seth here. Late ad, right? Most likely to be stopped by Olympic security because his mustache makes him look like a guy trying to sell authentic Italian Rolexes out of a hockey bag. That checks out. He's got that look of those Italian Rolexes.
With the trench coat.
Moving on to Sweden.
Ugh. These ones better be funny because he's just funny to look at.
Well, number one, most likely to treat Victor Hedman like a giant dinosaur mount to get through the crowded opening ceremony.
Huh? Most likely to treat Victor Hedman like a giant dinosaur mount to get through the crowded opening ceremony.
So He's gonna jump
He's
on.
going to be riding. He's going to be riding Headman like a dinosaur.
Yes, in the opening ceremony. I don't think that happened. I didn't watch, but I don't think.
No, it didn't.
And then, all right. So Scott, you're on because the next two lean into a certain franchise. Most likely to spend the entire opening ceremony trying to save the Queen of Italy from a giant turtle he hallucinated. It's a Mario Brothers joke, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so is this one. Most likely to
Well,
be.
no, she's a princess.
What?
You're trying to say Princess Peach.
Well, yeah, but they're in Italy, so it's an Italian queen. Most likely to be found jumping onto the Team Sweden bus while shouting "Woohoo!" at the driver. I think that's the one. Woohoo! He looks like a little Swedish Mario. All right, your favorite guy here. Your favorite guy. There's just one for him. I feel like you're gonna like this one.
Most likely to resemble a tree.
Most likely to be confused for a local Italian statue because he hasn't moved or blinked in 20 minutes.
Amen. Amen. He's been a lightning statue for 2 years.
I don't like that one, but I had to be fair and balanced. We couldn't just go after the rest of the NHL and not have some of our guys in there. So Victor, if you ever see Thomas Schooley, you can punch him in the face. Sebastian Aho, he is, I believe this is the Finnish team here that we're on now. He is most likely to attend the Bad Bunny concert at the Olympic Village. Wait. The next one plays on that. Rope Hintz is most likely to attend the Kid Rock concert at the Olympic Village. So they're split in Finland, just like they are in the U.S. about which concert to watch.
So we don't get political, and I don't want to get into it. But
I'm not even going to ask you about what.
No, actually, I was working, so I didn't see either.
Good.
But I have never seen so many Facebook posts of people saying which one they watched. Like, if you watched the one, you posted you watched the one. If you watched the other one, I'm like, really? Like, who cares? Like, I can't believe how many people had to let everybody know this is the one I watched.
Well, I watched Bad Bunny, and I liked it. Anyway, moving on.
I watched pizzas going through the oven, and I hated it.
Chris Jury is part of the Team USA staff, also used to be an NHL player. Kids play in the NHL. I believe Buffalo is where the Drury kid is. I think it's 2, though. Anyway, he is most likely to stare down a gondolier driver, I guess, until he rows faster.
Gondolier is the driver.
Is that what it is? I don't think that's not even in Milan though. So they missed that one. But look at that face. The USA coaching staff means business based on these pictures that they have out there. All right, we're getting to the good ones here. I saved some of what I think are the best ones for last, so we're getting down to the last 3. Leon Draisaitl. We'll see him versus Team USA this weekend. Couple for him. Most likely to be caught hiding in a laundry bin outside the Team Canada locker room trying to steal McDavid's custom smelling salts.
At least it was smelling salts, because what I thought it was going was not what it came up to be.
Lucky G-string. One more, of course, McDavid related. Most likely to walk past Connor in the Olympic Village and loudly whisper, "I'm the one who made you look good for 10 years."
And he would be correct. He would be correct.
All right. Let's get to the good ones now, shall we?
Oh, I thought Draisaitl was really good.
Austin Matthews. We only have about 8 for Austin because look at the guy. He's awesome, right? He's our favorite American hockey player. Oh, wait, that's Jake Gensel. All right. Austin Matthews. Hang in there. Some of these are long. Most likely to win a gold medal and then be found 2 hours later crying in a bathtub full of lukewarm Gatorade because they just realized they have to go back to their regular life as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
And that's not Gatorade. Hate to tell you.
It's yellow Gatorade, Thomas. You can't tell the difference. Ouch. All right. Most likely to look like he knows exactly what he's about to do to you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Sure, again, just hold a cup. Repels him away.
Next. Most likely to be spotted standing under a single street lamp in the Olympic Village at 2 a.m.
True, eating yellow snow.
Creeping at night in the Olympic Village. Most likely to offer a teammate a ride in a windowless van that has free hockey tape and candy written on the side.
He's like, hey, Mitch, want to get inside? I miss you, buddy.
Oh, we're only halfway through with Austin. Most likely to use enough forehead grease to lubricate the entire Italian railway system. Come on.
Choo-choo!
That's a low blow, AI. That's a low blow. The man's got a receding hairline, what many of us men do.
It's not receding, it's gone.
They still got it. I mean,
It's gone.
Right? All right. Most likely to be found in the locker room listening to disco while wearing a silk robe and nothing else.
I could see that.
All right, 2 more for Austin here. Most likely to skip the gold medal ceremony because
Everybody's skipping these ceremonies.
No, he's supposed to win. Sorry, I'm still thinking he's in Toronto. So most likely to skip the gold medal ceremony, which he will win because he's Team USA, because he has a standing appointment to film a scene in a wood-paneled basement.
That would be Mitch Barner's basement.
It gets worse. Most likely to respond to "Game On" by asking if the cameras are rolling and if he needs to keep his skates on for the nasty parts. All right. We've had enough fun with Austin Matthews. Let's move on to these idiots. This is the last one, I promise you guys.
God.
We put them both in one. Again, AI superlatives.
Hold on. I'm going to say Brady is most confused with Dumbo and will fly away with those ears.
So what's weird about this is I guess he did not make it. Matthew did not make it in time to take their pictures because they all have these really nice pictures out there. And his, I noticed when I grabbed it, that's just the picture they used for the Four Nations. So I guess that was because these guys that were playing here on Thursday were all kind of late to the party. They had to.
He was named the captain, wasn't he?
I don't know. I haven't been up to date on the captains like you have.
I think he was named captain of Team USA.
All right. Well, here's what he was named for our little game. AI superlatives. Most likely to get arrested in Rome for trying to cross-check a statue of Julius Caesar because Matthew told Brady the statue was chirping his mom.
Sorry, Matthews was the captain. Most likely to get arrested in Rome for trying to cross-check his hair. Oh.
Most likely to prove that Keith Kachuk's genes were 90% grit, 10% skill, and 0% reading comprehension. Which is also
you forgot. Well, no, because it would be about 70% grit, 10% skill, and the other 20% Hegel's bitch.
Oh! Our crowd's a little late there. See, this is like, if we ever do a live show, this is the kind of stuff we got to do so we can actually hear what you guys think of this stuff. Hopefully you're not all booing. Chuck Brothers. Most likely to be suspended for a game after Matthew convinces Brady that Olympic spirit actually means elbowing the Swedish goalie in the throat. So accurate. So accurate.
I don't think it needs much convincing. I think they both just here's real quick, and I know Michelle did touch on this. The rules in the Olympics is a lot different than the Four Nations. These are not NHL. These are not NHL refs. These are Olympic Committee. They do not take the shit that there is not going to be no fights right off the drop of the puck when U.S. and Canada face each other. So it's going to be a lot less.
You'll get suspended. You won't play another game.
Right. It will be a lot less fighting. And another thing, I've seen a couple people talk about it when they see the pictures. They are required to wear the neck guards in the Olympics.
Good. That's my insight to that. Good. All right, let's wrap this up. Most likely to swap mouth guards mid-game just because Matthews wants to see if he can taste the failure and disappointment on Brady's breath.
That was good.
Most likely to record a podcast episode where 90%.
Whoa.
Well, they started a podcast just recently.
They have. It's actually pretty good.
Well, not this episode, because most likely to record a podcast episode where 90% of the audio is just Brady asking, is the red light supposed to be blinking while Matthew sighs in the background?
Have you watched any of the clips from theirs?
No, I don't watch other podcasts.
They say good things about Kucherov and the Lightning and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because they can't beat him. Well, actually, Matthews did a couple times. Anyway.
And Brady has a couple times.
Most likely to leave Milan with a gold medal, 3 pending lawsuits, a lifetime ban from all Olive Gardens, and a podcast recording that is 90% of them just shouting bingo at random pedestrians.
Yeah. Well, and according to the reports, Brady with a new wife also.
Maybe. All right, 2 more here. Most likely to prove that while Matthew was born with a hockey sense, Brady was born with a sense of smell that only works for smelling farts.
That one's weird.
Last one. The Katuk brothers. Most likely to record a 4-hour live from Milan podcast episode where the only audio is the sound of Matthew eating a giant bag of stale croutons and Brady asking, is Italy an island or a planet every 10 minutes? Oh, man.
See, these more make fun of Brady than they do Matthew, and
it's like he's the outcast brother, is what they
Right.
They got the podcast thing. They most of them are about them podcasting, so that must be like the news on them. I'm curious, what was your favorite? What's everyone's in the chat's favorite one? I like the Matthews ones.
I liked a couple of the Matthews one, but Hedman as a statue.
That was pretty good.
That wasn't AI. That was written by me.
All right, last chance because we are out of here soon. Add hashtag USA or just type in hashtag USA. Get yourself in the contest here. Let me take these guys off the screen and get our giveaway back on there. Boom. So if you don't see yourself on the screen there, get yourself in, add a comment because we are going to get out of here. Again, reminder, we will not be live next week. We're taking a week off to enjoy some Olympic hockey, and then we will be back not the following Wednesday. We'll be back on Thursday that week. That's the 26th. The reason is we will be watching hockey on Wednesday night because that's the Lightning's first game back against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So,
What's up, Mandingo? Why are you coming in late?
Mandingo, get in contest, bro. Hashtag USA. Anything else you got to talk about? It's just, it's just Olympic hockey here for the next 2 weeks.
What about the pin collection? What pins you get?
Oh, I want an Italy pin if anyone's got one. I have USA, Canada, everyone got, and I got Czech and Swiss. So I will trade any of them except for USA, but I want Italy because I will be in Italy this summer, and unfortunately, it could be when the Lightning are in the Stanley Cup. So we'll see what happens. If you guys have followed this show from the start, the second season of the show, you'll recall I got stuck in Europe the last time I was there with COVID.
And we won.
Back, and we didn't lose a single game. So listen, maybe me going is a good sign because it could be if the same thing happens, it could be nonstop winning for the Bolts in a Stanley Cup. I would be very sad if that happens, but that's the way the cookie crumbled. So if you got an Italy pin, trade me, hit me up on DM because I want to wear that while I'm there. All right, we good to roll this thing? You guys all in?
Yeah.
USA travel.
Serena said, "Bye, Shooter."
Dude. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. All right, let's get ourselves a winner here.
We'll win while you're gone. Schooley's in the bush.
Well, we got to figure out how to keep this thing going for sure. I'm on it. I am on it. All right. We're starting this thing, whether you're in or not. If you win, shoot us a DM, size, address. This will get shipped out this week. It's so dramatic at the end. So dramatic.
Especially because it's all ours.
NFL. Oh, wait, I don't think they can win.
No.
That's Coastal Sports Digital Network, which we are on. By the way, if you're looking for your Bolts tickets, use Strike 20 for SeatGeek. Our link is still active for $20 off your first purchase. Plenty of games coming up at the end of this month and next week. Tracy Murphy wins it. Does she count?
My sister.
Yeah.
It's my sister.
All right. There you go. She doesn't have one already, does she?
I don't think so. I don't know.
All right,
Tracy,
well,
are you still on here?
Tracy, you win. We will get you a shirt. I might not ship it though. I might just give it to the school. Seems rigged if you ask me, but trust me, it's not. All right. You good? We got anything else? See you in 2 weeks, people. Is that the deal?
Yep, that's the deal, yo.
All right. If anything happens, keep an eye out on Twitter and the socials. If anything crazy happens during the Olympics, we will go live. There might be a case of me going live during the games this weekend, just watching them like we do our virtual watch parties, but I'm not setting up anything official. It's basically like if I'm sitting here watching the game, I might just go live and watch it with you guys. So that's the only thing we really got going on. Until then, or until I guess I should say 2 weeks from tomorrow, this has been We the Thunder.
I do think if when the U.S. wins gold, we should go live just like we do when we win the Stanley Cup.
All right. If the USA wins gold, we will go live.
When the U.S. wins gold, we'll go live after the game.
Deal. Until then, this has been We the Thunder. Do not forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?
That's it.